So, loyalty does get you somewhere. The new Necron Dataslate is up and we're back. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking and welcome to this video, and I'm very excited to be making this video because the game has changed. Ignore what you knew about Necrons before. It's like having a new codex. Wow, this is awesome. Let's talk about this new Necron Dataslate. Now, I've been playing Necrons for 20 years, since 3rd edition. I'd love to know how long you've been playing Necrons. Let me know in the comments box below. Now, it's fair to say at the beginning of 9th edition, Necrons were in a good place. We had a load of new models, awesome. We had the first codex, that was great, and our rules were pretty good. However, as always, the codex creep happened. As the new books came out, our one gradually got worse. Games Workshop are doing these Dataslate updates to try to balance the game. Now, over time, we worked out there were 5 things that needed changing for Necrons. The first one was the randomness of our guns. Our big guns, just too random compared to other big guns in the game. This Dataslate hasn't necessarily fixed that, although we have ways to help those bigger guns now. The second thing that we wanted was better reanimation protocol. We had a few issues with the reanimation protocols, and although they've not directly been fixed as a rule, because of some of the buffs that we've got now, arguably reanimation protocol is a little better. So I think we have inadvertently fixed that with this Dataslate. The third thing that we wanted changed were point changes. The fourth thing were command protocols. And the fifth thing was more core units. And guess what? All 3 of those things have been fixed. So, let's talk about them. Okay, so first of all, command protocols. Previously, very difficult to do. You had to have a noble on the table, you had to have a unit with the special rule within 6 inches of a character, and then you couldn't choose the order. You had to do it before the game, not each turn, and it was just a lot of hard work to get those extra rules out. However, that's all changed. Forget all that. Command protocols are now awesome. First of all, they've taken away the noble part of command protocols. So now it's any character. That can literally be any character. That can be a Catan, that could be the Hexmark Destroyer, your Cryptex, whatever you're playing, no noble needed, just a character on the table. Now obviously once all your characters are killed, then you no longer get your command protocols, but a huge change. Next, they've taken away the within 6 inches of a character. Now, as long as there's a character on the table and you have a unit that has command protocols, you get those command protocols regardless of where you are on the table. Perfect. On top of that, we've got an extra rule as well, which is just mind-blowingly awesome. This is really good. So we have 6 command protocols available to us. The game only lasts 5 turns, so you always have a command protocol which you haven't used. Obviously, if you're playing the Silent King, he can use 1 command protocol twice, so effectively you'll end up with 2 spare ones. However, what you can do now is you can take your spare command protocol and then you give it to your army for the whole of the game. Not only that, but if you're using a command protocol that's actually assigned to a dedicated dynasty, for example the Hungry Void with the Novok dynasty, you use that as your spare command protocol, and then you use that the whole of the game, and you can use both of the command directives. So that's pretty awesome. On top of that, you then select the order of your other cards and you use those as well. So effectively, you're going to have a lot of command protocols in action every turn without any restrictions apart from having a character on the table. It's gone really dark. Oh well, crack on with the video, Nick. So what I really like about these changes is, well, it's made some of the dedicated dynasties better, and actually now you can pretty much take any dynasty that you like and have a lot of benefits. It's really opened up the playing field. It's not just now objective secure or the Novok dynasty as your best dynasties to take. So open up a lot of options. I mean, Sotek, for example, which have gone up in the world already because of the way command points work. If you've got a Silent King in there, those extra command points, you could take Stormlord, get 2 extra command points. Sotek are pretty good already, but of course their protocol is fall back and shoot. I mean, fall back and shoot the whole army, the whole of the game. That's good. Now, even if you're not taking full use of using both of those codes in a particular dynasty, this is still very good. I mean, you could have your custom dynasty and then obviously use one of the protocols from the cards. Maybe reanimation protocol bonus, the living metal bonus. You could have obviously the fall back and shoot. There's loads of options, and that's what I really like about this. It's not just, hey, we're really good because we've got this one thing. It's like, now, hey, we're really good because we've got lots and lots of options, and this is going to make list building very fun. I think you will see lots of different Necron lists on the table now. Now, not only that, and this is very important, you also get to choose which of the command protocols you're going to use at the beginning of each turn. So even if you're not taking full advantage of being able to use both of them each turn, you get to choose which one. So let's just say you're in the Objective Secure Dynasty, the custom dynasty, and then you've got let's say Undying Legions as your command protocol for the whole of the game. Well, you do get to select which one, whether it's the Living Metal bonus or the RP bonus at the beginning of each turn. This is just awesome. Now, I think it's fair to say that these command protocols go beyond any wild expectation of a Necron player in terms of changing the protocols, because I think all we really wanted was not to have to be within 6 inches of a character to get the command protocol, maybe to choose the order. But these new rules, they surpass all of those expectations. These are just like really, really good. However, it's not the end of what we got in this new data slate, because we got even more core units. So the Canoptic Spider gained the core keyword. More on him in a minute, but more importantly, our vehicles have gained the core keyword. Can you believe it? I mean, this is beyond any wild dream. Vehicles now have core. Now, a little sad shout out for the Doomstalker, who sadly isn't a vehicle. He, of course, is a monstrous creature. He's not going to benefit from these changes. So I'm going to have to say really, really sorry to the Doomstalker, but you literally have gone down to the bottom of the list when it comes to heavy support. I would say even below the Annihilation Barge, which of course is a vehicle. Now, unlike the Doomstalker, our Doomsday Arcs and our other vehicles that do have the core keyword now, well, they can be buffed with various things. Obviously, the biggest one is going to be My Will Be Done, +1 to hit, which sort of helps us with our randomness. We still have a random amount of shots and a random amount of damage, but at least now the shots that we do actually get out are going to be hitting on 2s. That's really, really useful. Now, these changes have absolutely boosted Illuminor Xeris up the ranks of the HQ choices. He of course has the augmentation special rule, potentially giving +1 to strength, +1 to ballistic skill, +1 to toughness. Yeah, Doomsday Arc's toughness 7. And of course the Silent King is core now as well. So you could make the Silent King +1 to toughness. That would be pretty good. I mean, toughness 8. That's what we wanted on the Silent King anyway. Of course, it's random what results you get, but Illuminor also brings other things to the table, especially when it comes to the Silent King, because his Rites of Reanimation is on a Necron's core unit. Unlike a Technomancer, a Necron Dynasty core unit, he can do it on any dynasty. So effectively, he could do it on the Silent King. Getting a Menhir back with Rites of Reanimation on your Silent King without being in the Zerican Dynasty. Obviously, a Technomancer can do it as well, but it has to be in the Zerican Dynasty. We have so many new little tricks that we can do with these core rules. We're going to have to explore all of these tricks over time because, of course, we're going to need some play testing. We're going to have to really think about some of these combos and of course I'll be making videos on them all. And one of the big things which you instantly think of is the Veil of Darkness. However, there's debates on whether Veil of Darkness will work on certain units because of base sizes. Do you measure from the base? Do you measure from the hull? Etc. Actually, I'm just going to go and measure my monolith. I'm going to measure my Silent King. I'll be back. The Silent King is definitely under 6 inches with the menhair. I can put one menhair the other side. Definitely doable. Of course, remember that the Veil of Darkness is a core dynasty unit. So you can only veil the Silent King if you're in the Zerican dynasty. So if you've got a Zerican character, you can actually veil the Silent King. So monolith. My monolith, this is the new one, is so close. It's basically 6 inches, which is the same size as the old monolith. So yeah, the hull is 6 inches. However, don't we have an option to measure from the hull or the base? I'm trying to rack my brains around this. Let me know in the comments box below if you actually know this answer. Yeah, because if it's the base, then obviously absolutely no trouble deploying it. If it's the hull, well, even if it's the hull, 6 inches, I think we can deploy it. Veil of Darkness on the monolith. Can it happen? Let me know. Now obviously we've got some bones to pick out of these new special rules about maybe what we can and can't do. I think there's quite a lot of chat on the internet with these random ideas of tactics. Some are legal and some aren't. I think we need to sort of pace ourselves here and really work out exactly what we can and can't do on the table. But either way, as you can tell, these rules are really, really good for Necrons and potentially taking us up the table quite a bit. Probably not top tier, but certainly in the top area of 40k codices. However, of course, GW like to change things, so yeah, expect some nerfs at some point. Either way, I love Necrons. I love making videos about Necrons, and if you love Necrons, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell button. And if you want to see my videos about the best Necron units, then here's a playlist for you to check out. And here's a playlist on all of the new recent changes for our beloved army.